A little bit of a nutty topic, do a little geek test. Does anybody recognize the ship, know the relevance, when it launched, what it was made out of, et cetera, et cetera? Zach, what is it?
Oh, it's the Phoenix.
It is the Phoenix. When did it launch?
2030 something out of Montana, and this was in Star Trek First Contact, which was released in 1996. Dixon was the second film of Star Trek The Next Generation crew.
Wow. Very impressive. Now, recognize the ship. I knew this guy here would recognize the ship. What was it made out of? What was the origin Cochrane's ship?
Unobtainium? It was a Titan missile silo.
Yeah. It was a missile silo, and this is Cochrane from the movie. And who detects? I don't have it up there. Who detects the warp signature?
Vulcans.
The Vulcans do.
The green-blooded bastards.
Yeah, the Vulcans do. So that's First Contact, the movie in 1996, and that's different from Cochrane. I've got one more. What's the significance of the quote? Where's it from? What does it mean? What's the context from a geek standpoint? You know what this is? You know this?
I'll let them run.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
It's Peter Pan, but what's the other context?
That's the flight to Neverland?
This is one of my favorite candies.
We gotta talk about taste.
The original candy.
Does anybody else know? Does anybody know the context from science fiction and not Peter Pan?
It was used in Enterprise?
No.
It wasn't in
Okay, so this guy's going to tell you.
Well, maybe.
This guy's going to tell you.
I think, wasn't that the last time you saw Kirk flying out on the movie?
Oh yeah, it was in 6. It was at the end of 6.
That's pretty impressive. I knew this audience was pretty geeky. This is from the undiscovered country. It is adapted from the Peter Pan reference. But at the close of the movie, they are mothballing the Enterprise, and they are commanded to go back to space dock to be decommissioned.
Yeah, Kirk tells the Federation.
Well, Spock says, if I was human, I'd tell him to go to hell. That was the famous Spock line. But then after they resolve that, before they retire, Kirk issues the order about the first star right console. It is from Star Trek. It is actually a Peter Pan reference as well. Pretty good. I knew you guys would well.
So we can actually watch all the Star Trek movies just to keep up with you now? Are you going to start quoting Lord of the Rings or something just for us?
I think it'd be good to do a little geek trivia once in a while and exercise our geekdom and be proud of it. This is a little nutty, it's a little tongue-in-cheek, and really, it's not really. But a few months ago, last year, Isaac, who worked at Tyson's, he's moved off now, but he used to join us. He made me aware that Tyson's has started producing a food product called the Razor Nugget. We still got one Tyson guy. You're familiar with the Razor Nugget. They're being sold today. And when he told me about that, what immediately came to mind, like you, what's the quality control on the Nugget? How well they represent the Razorback? That kind of thing. Is there some guy sitting there saying, this is a good nugget, that's a bad nugget, or whatever? And I thought to myself, maybe this is a good use for AI, and I can see how well it will judge the quality of the nugget. So it's a little tongue-in-cheek, but it's also a quality control kind of measurement. In the past, assembly lines would grade a percentage of the product, and you wouldn't dump it into an LLM. You go to extreme means to verify the sample quality of via OpenCV or other sensors or so on. And I was just interested in how well ChatGPT would do it. But this is one of the nuggets off the package. So this is what the package looks like. There's a little Walmart ad. It's been reflected by inflation a little bit, but that's what that looks like on the packaging. And this is quote unquote the ideal nugget, as Tyson's.
That's a generous interpretation of the Razorback.
Like I said,
That's not even never
as it is a miracle to take a chicken that doesn't look like a Razorback and make it look like a Razorback. I mean, we're living in pretty amazing times. Right here. This is the question I was trying to answer. Can ChatGPT act as quality control engineer determine the quality of the Razorback nugget as they're streaming down the line? Or if you pull a sample, evaluate how well they look like a Razorback. So here's my methodology. I didn't run it by hand one at a time. I bought razor nuggets for dinner one night, and I went to the bag and photographed a sample of them, right? So I could shove them to the model. I shoved them into a directory, and I wrote a Python script that would take the perfected the packaging nugget, combine it with the real product nugget, and then send it up to OpenAI GPT-4o. Ask it, how well does this look like the nugget, right? So, collect the photos, and then no nuggets were hurt. They were all eaten. They were wasted. I asked GPT to rank them from 0 to 100 in quality, and then I ran it 10 times for each image. I did 10 images, so it was 100 GPT runs, if you will. This is the prompt I used. I won't read it to you, but you can imagine what it says. You're a Tyson's Food employee, judge the quality of the nugget. Rank it from 0 to 100, where 100 is perfect, right? And of course, there's a million different things you could have the model judge, but this was my shot at it, and I said return the number that you think it is in those instead of those brackets. So that's the deal. By the way, I didn't put it up there long enough, but my GitHub repository is level500.com reports to my GitHub account, and I have the source code and also a video that shows it running if anybody's even remotely interested. So these are ranked from worst to best. This is a cooked one, right? They come out frozen, of course, and this is cooked by the standards on the packaging. You know, preheat the oven. I did a class act on the preparation of the nuggets, just to let you know that. And I asked GPT-4o via that Python script to rate it from 0 to 100, and I did it 10 times. And this is the scores I got, and this is the average. And I also counted the number of times it refused to give me an answer. So on this one, it answered every time. The average is 48. And here was a sample. This is one of the replies from one of those 10. So in this case, this nugget got a 48. And I'll let you judge whether or not that looks like the packaging that Tyson's claims it does or not. What happened to Bashir? Tyson's guy's gone. What's your question?
So did you try different backgrounds?
I did not. This was a seat of the pants afternoon kind of thing. This is not a PhD thesis or anything.
Okay,
there's a million varieties of this.
I know, I'm just you know.
You're right. It's red there and it's white here. That's a good point.
And it's shadowed as well, and
It's a good point.
so I'm just.
I think the
this
quality
is
of
not
the image is
science.
also gonna
This is
decide
science-ish.
It's the fact that you can contemplate doing this with a LLM. It's amazing. Think about what we had to have done to this.
Just compare the entire thing, so they all have the same white background,
Yes.
Did you take all the pictures and just fed it
with
into
relative
the
ranking.
I fed, this is actually, I had a picture of the package nugget, and I had a directory full of photos, and the Python script stuck them together, submitted it to ChatGPT, and asked that prompt type.
So it's basically what we did with the boxes, isn't it?
It's very similar to the
Very
boxes.
similar.
It's very similar to the boxes. That's right.
Wow, you get canned for just asking questions.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to promote a little. We got 48. Yeah.
And in video, it's wrong to ignore the shadows and see how the response.
There's a million things we can do. You're right. You could grade it on color, from, I mean, there's just a million things. The fact I can sit at home in Springdale on my kitchen table, bang this out and spit it out.
That is the thumbs up, like, just raw workflow,
It's
acceleration.
it's
proof of
remarkable.
concept.
It's
If
remarkable.
you went and was like, you know, and showed this to like your engineering manager at Tyson, or whatever, say you were working as an engineer, you show this to him as a proof of concept,
Yeah.
that's 90% better than the previous proof of concept from anybody else in your team combined. It's miracle work, like
It
that's,
is,
that's,
it is.
that's what they would refer to it as.
All right, we're going to
What's-
go to the next
what-
one. This
what-
is nugget D.
Yeah.
They're doing necessary now. So there's another 10 that answered every
Still
time, and this
48.
average is also 48. Here was a representative response. So, yes, sir?
So did you take an actual picture of a raw nugget or just use the package?
This is from the package. What Bashir is claiming is the Tyson rep is representative as this nugget. And this is out of as I cooked it before I ate it, I took a picture of the nuggets.
All right, but we did, before or after you cooked it?
This is after I cooked it. I followed the instructions on the packaging, as Bashir.
Go get the last names.
I don't have the, I thought it was more fair to do it after it was cooked. But maybe you're right, maybe it would fare better.
Well, the stock photo is probably the easiest media photo.
I think that's
You would
good.
think.
The ones out of the package, they're all, out of the freezer, they're all white and frosted kind of. It's not, this is the best chance you got.
All right.
Okay. So this is another, this is 40, this is Nugget E. You see again.
Out of curiosity,
This one it judges a little bit better.
did you do a test with just like random nuggets out of a bag as a control?
You might be surprised at what I've tested.
I'm like, how much is that? That looks like it's a
Okay,
brand nugget.
here's the best nugget out of that, my batch, just to be candid with you.
That's as good as it gets.
Yes,
You
sir.
guys seen,
That's what I'm gonna go for right there.
You know, I thought when I opened the bag, I thought it would just be pandemonium, and there would just be nugget pieces all over the place. Tyson's quality control is quite good.
Good job.
There is, you may complain that it doesn't look exactly like the packaging, but there weren't really pieces inside the bag. They were all pretty good. They're doing something to inspect their nuggets already. So this is 60, this is the best one out that I took a photo of. Oh, wait, there was one more, here's one, this is 64, this one's a 64.
That's a little bit.
So that one's better.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Now,
Now that one I believe.
I had these of this,
You know and love.
and then ran it through the bottle, and you can see 39. It did detect this as not a very good, but I did damage this nugget on purpose.
Steven, you missed your opportunity to make this into like a pitch deck for, like Governor's Cup or something. It would have eaten this up literally.
Well, my wife said don't care about it.
Can you stop taking pictures so we can eat? Can you eat up the results at least?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I noticed the center one is like continuously 60, like, is there?
That's a good question. I don't know. This was in my Python script when I clicked the data, this is probably the Python list that I reproduced. That is a little odd I hadn't noticed that, but you're right. But you can also tell, you couldn't just do one shot and get anything out of it, because you might end up with a 60. But if as we go through the deck here, you'll see that the average, and I did stuff like standard deviation and a bunch of weird, of course that's what you would do. But then I did the things that you would think. So, now I veer off. This is my dog.
0.
Here's the interesting thing, it's all zeros. It refused to answer 4 times. So this is the first time we've got a model refusing to answer. And you can see right here, this is a dog. It's not a chicken.
It has context, like enough context of different situations to identify when something's wrong.
But it could be.
And I'll give you another little insight here. Originally, I asked it to rate the nugget from 1 to 100. 1 being the worst, and 100 being the worst, or the best. And with the dog photo, it refused to answer anything but 0. So then I changed it from 0 to 100 to make it make sense. But the model, even if I insisted give me a number from 1 to 100, I wanted it to say 1 for the dog. It always said 0.
Did you feed it the same image as the one that you have on the left at any point?
This is the image that got sent up to Sam Altman.
You didn't send a dog, you fixed it.
I sent this.
Oh, you sent both of them?
I had them, well, they went up as one image. I took, the Python script would read the golden image that Bashir gave me off the packaging and concatenated whatever image I had in the directory dynamic. That way I could simplify the prompt, and I just got one image up. So what you see up here in my slide, this is what went up to 4.0 to analyze with that prompt. There was no manipulation or weird.
So it was one image is base 64 strength.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. And I've got again, my GitHub, whatever I can publicly show, I have the source code, and I have a YouTube video of it running. You'll see it running, how long it takes and so on.
Did your Python script use the completions API feeding in the same conversation ID throughout rounds, or disjoint?
Nope, it's a clean shot every time.
It
kind of
would
like the
be
blackjack.
interesting to
And I did
use
blackjack
use
last
like a
night.
continuous conversation
Yeah, it is not continuous.
for each of the
You're
pictures
right,
and
you
then run
can do that
that.
too, he can learn.
Or have the same bias for each.
This is a Razorback magnet off the back of my truck. And you see the score's good, but you also notice that it refused to answer 16 times. So it was telling me something behind the scenes that, hey, this is weird, but it did. And if this really was a nugget, it would be a heck of a,
You should have flipped it in the same
nugget.
organization.
Yeah, that's another good thought. It might-
Did you keep track of how much the cost was per run?
I have in my previous test, but I did not in this one. But it's 4 hours is very, very low. The fact that I can waste time and cycles on this.
Yeah, but even if it's low cost, image cost, and multimodal operation is more substantial cost than just pure text.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's still less than a cent per hit.
I'm with you. All right, let's move on. Now,
10 times things.
of course,
Scaling's terrible.
the other thing comes to mind, what if Tyson's accidentally mixes up their lines and gets some Dino nuggets in with the Razorback nuggets? Of course, that could happen, if they fly around the factory or whatever. So, this is the Dino nugget. I had him compared to the Razorback. And you see, this is pretty good, but this Brontosaurus does kind of look like, the average there was 56. Now here you go. This is the T-Rex. And you can see it plummets down to, so the model without any tuning or anything, just me and my kitchen table in Springdale, I could get it to dynamically weed out the bad nuggets. I mean, it's astounding.
I can't remember who made the point about orientation. I bet if you take that nugget on the right and rotate it to the left about 90 degrees, it's gonna look a lot more like that Razorback than it does vertically.
That would be an excellent test.
Well, now I have a marketing pitch for Tyson. You clearly need to
I got a few phone numbers.
iterate enough shapes so that until you find the optimal polygon that can be passably represented as the largest number of things, and then push the same exact shaped nugget over and over again with a different name every
They
year.
would no longer be buying coding. That's the problem.
I have a question for you.
It's a Razorback. It's a dog.
How do they taste?
They're good. The
Elvis nuggets.
It's
a
That's it. That's all I got for you.